Everybody's Peter, and we finally got Westworld back the other day. We're now up to season 2. The new episode is called Journey into Night, which you remember that was the name of Ford's new story that he said he was going to introduce with at the end when we saw with Teddy and Dolores. It's also an interesting point I found out too that each season actually has a name as well. Season 1 was referred to as The Maze. Season 2 will be referred to as The Door. And we find it later on too when we see Ed Harris, aka the Man in Black, aka older William, that The Door is actually a game that Ford has created for him. Tells him via his younger host that we saw earlier on. Before I jump into too far ahead, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit notifications. I do post on a weekly basis. So we're basically picking up where the party left off at the end of last season, and we're going to have again 2 different timelines based all around Bernard. I'm not going to spoil this at all. Definitely going to go see this. I just want you to go see and enjoy it. I do have my own views on this one, which I will open up about later on. But we start off with actually again Arnold talking to Dolores, having his talks with her. And at some point, too, they got talking about what's real, what's a dream, what's not a dream. She doesn't believe some of the stuff he's saying. And at one point, he's actually saying that Dolores is kind of scaring her, not what she is now, but what she may possibly become. We cut to we seeing Bernard. Wasn't sure it was Bernard at the beginning, but I watched a couple other reviews and they said yes. So we got the storyline straight, because it does get confusing if it's Arnold or Bernard. But it looks like going forward so far with this episode, it is Bernard we're seeing, but we're seeing him in 2 time frames. We're seeing him when we first see him. It looks like he got washed up on the beach, or he's at the beach and the water's lapping over him. We do find out from some of the other people around him that Westworld is actually on an island. I thought it was somewhere like on a mainland, and people just took the train to get there and took the other train to get into Westworld. In this timeline, you actually see him bumping into Stubbs. We're introduced to a new character, Carl Strand. He has a whole contingent of Delos Navy SEALs types are all running around with big guns, and they're trying to secure the beach area. Stories going on, and then we also cut to another storyline, which is happening also again with Bernard, but he's with Charlotte Hale, who is played by Tessa Thompson. I thought too that Tessa Thompson, I didn't know who she was at the time until I saw Thor Ragnarok, but I thought it was kind of weird too. Her character name is called Hale. She's associated with the MCU, and if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we have General Hale, who's playing a bit of a villain in that series. So I wonder if this Hale is also going to be a bit of a villain. Is that sort of a thing, or it just happens to be the same name? It's like Smith. And speaking of secrets, there are a lot of secrets. Ed Harris has a bit of a secret going on. Hale has a bit of a secret going on. Everything from everybody has secret locations to hideouts to whatever that we discover later on in the series. And there's still 2 more storylines going on. We have Dolores and Teddy running around basically shooting up the place. Actually, it's more Dolores. Teddy's still along for the ride and somewhat confused about what his little sweetheart's up to. But I don't know in what time frame is this happening right after. Is this like the after party? Where she going around, or is it happening at the same time when we're seeing Bernard meeting up with Stubbs, like I said, at that time frame? So we don't know. His is the only one we can sort of know that there's something going on, but with the other characters, we don't know in what context are they happening. While those 2 are running around shooting up the landscape, we also cut back to the control room in the headquarters area, where we find Maeve. She hasn't shot up the place, but she is armed and dangerous and still dressed to the nines, because if you remember from before, she got off the train to go find her daughter. She bumps into Lee Sizemore, who he's still a sniveling little so-and-so, begs himself onto Maeve, like, please don't shoot me, and maybe I'll go with you. I can help you. And she's like, okay, you can come with us for now, but gonna keep my eye on you. Also later on, bump into Hector. That's most of the things going on. It's just lots of mayhem, lots of chaos, lots of things going on. But again, definitely watch this. If you enjoyed it, you might enjoy this as well. I know some groups are liking it. Other people I know, like Sean Chandler, I saw his Stardust review, and he was kind of like, "Eh." And I think I'm on his side as well. I'm kind of like, I don't really know, because the feelings I had when I watched, like, even season 1, episode 1, that was like, okay, what's going on? Okay, we were establishing the story of what's going where. We didn't know at that time, was Teddy a host, was Teddy a guest, that kind of thing. So, but that was interesting the way that went. This is like, we know who everybody is now. We're just working with the established characters. Like I said, we introduced a new security character. There's nothing new or different, but I didn't find anything intriguing to pull me in. It just looked like chaos and guns and bloodbaths and more. I mean, I'm not on a weak stomach or something, but sometimes too, I don't like things for the sake of things, or sensationalism, or violence for violence sake. If it makes sense that, yeah, it has to happen, okay, it makes it happen. One of the things I kind of thought was weird, and maybe this is going to be a new thing for the season, is they're tapping into the host's brain. Well, instead of just hooking them up with a cable or something, they actually, and that was a weird thing too, when they were doing the cleanup crew with Stubbs and Bernard and the new guy. They grabbed one of the Aboriginal Indian hosts. I think it was supposed to be an Apache or something, and one of the other helpers that was there had to cut the guy's head off. So he's like literally scalping an Indian, which I thought was kind of a weird kind of irony, I guess. But the reason they do that is because they crack open the skull and they pull out this sort of light bulb looking thingy that can screw into one of the tablets, and they can check out the memories of the host. I thought it was weird because I thought the easiest thing, what they used to do in the previous season, correct me if I'm not wrong and comment down below, but I thought they just used their flip out tablets and just like, oh, let's see what the host's going on. Oh, that's interesting. What's going on? What's going on? I thought Westworld is more about the human condition, AI becoming conscious, and how does consciousness work, which they touched on quite a bit in the previous season. This looks more just like how nasty and how mean and evil can something be, or what's your version of evil, who's enslaving who, these kind of things are addressed. Overall, again, I'm using my scale of not bad, not great. I didn't mind it, but from what I saw of the trailers, I thought, oh, this is really good. We're going to have Samurai World, we're going to have this, we're going to have that, and these other things. It's going to be this kind of mayhem. I don't know if it's going to be a good series or not. And also to have to wait 2 years and you come up with this is like, what? I put it again, like always, I put it to you guys. Did you like it? Did you not like it? My video, did you like it? Did you not like it? Again, if you're new here, don't forget, hit subscribe, hit notifications, because I do post on a weekly basis. And I was mentioning Stardust. You have a link down to the Stardust app, which is great for if you want to do quick little 30-second blurbs about like what do you like, what you don't like. And you don't have to do a full-on vlog. You can just post it real quick and tell your friends and family, hey guys, here's what I thought of something in 30 seconds. Like it or dislike things. And as always, we will see you in the next video.